and I get to see a repeat of history, which has occurred starting 30 years ago, twice in my life. And I'm a real big believer in the third is the best number. And so I personally witnessed from the garage to what Jay's going to explain extraordinary results, not impacting dozens, not impacting hundreds, but impacting hundreds of thousands of lives across the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. A formula that literally, if you open your minds, follow what Jay explains to you, can put you on a pathway to success with Shoppy Shop and literally change your life. And when it's been done once, that's something. But when it's been done twice with a similar group of people and similar results, you know that the formula works. And you know that the people that cashed all of those checks and changed their lives financially will attest to what you're going to learn tonight. So I get to be in the best seat in the house because I can sit back and really enjoy and understand what you're going to enjoy from my good friend, Jay Sargent, my friend, my mentor, and longtime business partner. So, Jay, I'll just let you take it away.
Okay, everyone, welcome, welcome. Let me just start off by creating some clarity. What I'm going to talk about tonight is the patch, but I'm not going to talk about the energy patch. I'm not going to talk about the sleep or the pain patch. And I love them all, and they're all incredibly important categories. There are tens of millions of people in need of each of those specific patches. But my interest and my expertise, as well as Dori's, and my dear friend over there, Jen Benvenuta, excuse me, mi scusa, we marketed 6 million bottles of one weight loss product from scratch, from the very first bottle all the way. And that was only domestically the 6 million, that one, the rest of the world. So we have, as I discussed with some of you the last time I was on, um, I'm a big believer in something called an expert model. If you want to be really great at anything, see if you can find an individual or an organization or a model that you can follow. Follow the best that is available. I am pinching myself because, just like Dory said, I get another kick at the can. We get to take this template, this blueprint, this model, and share it with you, who can share it with others, who eventually will share it with 100,000 or more other people. I'm going to start off before I get into the flyer and I go step by step what we did to go literally from one bottle of Calorad to 6 million bottles of Calorad. I'm going to be very specific and detail oriented. So get out a notepad, have a pen and pencil, scribble all over that sheet of paper if you can print it out. And but I'm going to start with a little quick story. When I was a boy, I was a fat little boy. All of the children in my neighborhood, when it was summertime, would take off their shirts and run into. We lived in downtown Boston, so the beach that was available to us on a streetcar ride was in South Boston. And all the skinny Irish Catholic kids and the Italian Catholic kids would take off their tops, and you could count their ribs. I never had that experience in my entire life. God gave me hair, and I'm very grateful, and an attractive nose, and the ability to talk literally forever. So I'm very grateful for what I got. But what I didn't get is muscle tone. So there isn't a natural amount of muscle tone on my body. Consequently, when summer came and everybody got naked at the L Street beaches in South Boston, I kept my shirt on. When we played basketball, I prayed on the sideline, please God, not have me be on the skin side. Remember shirts and skins? That's how you divide it up. We didn't have uniforms when you were poor, working class kids in downtown Boston. Half the kids took their shirt off and half the kids kept their shirt on. And I would stand there and pray, I don't want to jiggle all up and down this court. Please God, keep me on the shirt side. When I went every year to have my pediatrician do the yearly exam before the school year, my doctor was Dr. Charlie Schlossberg. He would put me on a scale, strip me down to my little white shorts, and he would look at my mother imperiously. I remember his glasses would dip down, and he'd say, Gladdy, what are you feeding this kid? He's fat. When we went to go buy clothing every year, we'd go to Kennedy's department store downtown Boston. Wasn't the high end, wasn't the low end, right in the middle. And I would get a pair of pants and a couple shirts. And the minute we walked into Kennedy's department store, the salesperson who saw us first said, Ma'am, the Husky department for you and your son. So I'm establishing this because I have in some way, shape, and form been on a diet my entire life. What this has done for me with Dori, with Jen, with our whole team at Essentially Yours is it made me a very empathetic and compassionate weight loss coach. I get weight management from the inside out. I don't have to make it up. I have never eaten one morsel, including today at age 78. Every time I eat food, I'm mentally counting the calories. Can I afford to eat another bite? Should I have another slice? So when I got my hands on a product called Calorad, and this is the last bottle, I broke it in a million pieces. I can't believe it. But this little sample bottle of Calorad, we sold 6 million of these. When I got my bottle of Calorad, and I understood from the nutritionist and from the formulator that the process of the product was as simple as taking a tablespoon, go to bed, wake up smaller. I called up first and foremost my mother. I said, Mom, guess what? You know those 10 pounds you've been talking about losing for 50 years in a row? I mean, I heard that conversation every single time I saw her for 50 years in a row. I got to drop these. I said, I got something that all you need to do is take it once a day at night, go to sleep, and you're going to get smaller. So I tell her that she's a half hour away. I don't know what she did, but she teleported herself to my office. She was there in 10 minutes. I gave her the first hideous looking bottle of Calorad, and I said, take it. This is exactly what I want you to do. Don't change anything. Just take a tablespoon of this, and we'll see where this goes. In 2 weeks, my mom didn't drop an ounce, not 1 pound on the scale, but she went down 2 full dress sizes. She was in a state of ecstasy. Now, I know you all love your mom and dad. I adored my folks. When my mother was happy, I was ecstatic. My belief system went from, the scientists said this would work. The formula is supposed to work. The guy who makes this stuff is a genius. He said it's going to work. But the most important thing is it worked on my mom. And then something very special happened. My mother was a blabbermouth. My mother talked to everyone on planet Earth, every sentient being. If you weren't moving, Gladys spoke to you. She took a bottle of Calorad to her dear friend Ava Gudeman. And Ava Gudeman started on the product, and 2 weeks again after she's on the product, the two of them call me up, and Ava says something that changed Dori's life, changed Jen's life, and created the context for an explosive business development. She said, Jay, for the first time in my life, after 2 weeks of taking this product, my thighs don't touch one another. Oh my God, we went crazy. Ava Gudeman's thighs launched our empire. Now, let's get into the training program, because everything I said is in this piece of paper. How do I make this a titch smaller so I can see it all at once? There we go. We went and we followed this very simple program. The first thing is step one, both metaphorically and figuratively, you need to understand the size of the market, literally the size of the market. Last time I spoke to you last week, we went over some contemporary numbers. 75% of Americans are now overweight, 40% obese, and 12% morbidly obese. So just imagine this for a moment. You've got 100 people in an auditorium. 75 of those 100 people are overweight, but they're not all the same. I'm going to teach you something called the concept of low-lying fruit. You're looking for 5 to 10 people who are highly motivated, who have just that morning woken up, taken a shower, caught a glimpse of their naked body in a mirror, and went, good Lord, that body ran naked through Woodstock. How the heck did I ever end up looking like that? That person then put on clothes that felt uncomfortable, that they had to keep pulling their shirt and moving their outfit so that it would kind of fit. Then that individual, that highly motivated individual, out of the 75, you're looking for 5 people who then get in a car, put the seatbelt on, but the seatbelt keeps grabbing them and they keep feeling stuff falling over their pants and too big for their skirt and on and on. You want that person is your customer, because the name of the game in weight loss, weight management campaigns is creating results. The only leverage we have are the results that we can help create in the marketplace. The company has given us a great product. We will obviously have great tools and resources. We're going to gather together. We're going to talk about how we're going to bring people on to huge conference calls and share this story. We're going to post all of our before and after pictures. But at the end of the day, none of this matters if each and every one of us can't find 5 to 10 people in this moment where there are 75% of the people who are overweight. You're looking for a highly motivated individual. You're looking for my mom. You're looking for Ava Gudeman. At the end of the day, you want to find the easy people to work with, and you want to focus on people who want to lose 10 to 50 pounds. Step number 2, there is a concept in what I'm going to teach you guys in the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming model, that basically says enthusiasm sells. We use a term called congruency. I want to teach the concept of congruency. Congruency is when all 3 modes of communication, you as a communicator are communicating always 3 ways. There's the words that you're saying, there's the tonality in which you're saying them, and then there is the body movement while you're saying and creating an intonation. People naturally know when you are congruent, when all 3 of those systems, when the words match, the intonation match the movement, you are congruent, like a congruent triangle, if you can remember that. I don't. But congruency is power. Enthusiasm is contagious. Creating stories. I went out of my mind when my mom dropped 2 dress sizes. She eventually went from a size 16 to a size 8 at age 75. I mean, it was extraordinary. When she then told me or got me on the phone with Ava Guterman, my belief system and my congruency went up another notch. So here's what I'm going to tell you, just real honestly. I don't know. I don't know any of you. I'm looking into a silly little camera right now. If we were in a room, I could say hello, shake hands, give you a hug, and get a visual, but I don't have a visual. But I'm imagining that you reflect the numbers in the population. If we've got 50 people on the line tonight, 100 people on the line tonight, 75 out of 100 are overweight. Your story is the story that first and foremost creates the most amount of congruent enthusiasm. Now, if in fact, at the moment, I don't have a story because I'm at an all-time low. Teaching pickleball every day, and I'm in a pretty good shape. And so I don't have a weight loss story, but I have picked my 5 candidates. I'm not going to go through who they are. I'm not going to ruin it for them, but I have 5 people that I know and love dearly who are just dying to get their hands on the weight loss patch. And here's what I'm going to do with them. I am going to put them in my own private Coach J WhatsApp group, because the third step is vital. First step is pick very enthusiastic and very committed people who really are suffering and want to lose the 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds. The second piece is find either yourself, your own story, or someone like I did with my mom. My mom then found Ava, my kid brother. I mean, everyone around me had an incredible experience with the product. End of story. And that gave me the energy and the power, and most importantly, the belief system that made me congruent and bulletproof. You could not come at me and try to convince me that the product wasn't worthwhile, that couldn't justify the price, and that someone who was bashing it, there's always going to be someone who takes exception to what you do. But if you have your own experience, or those that you love have an incredible experience, you will be a warrior bringing this product to the world. Okay, step number 3 is really important. Be a great coach. The other night when I was interviewing Dr. David Nelson, a brilliant individual by the by, we talked about delivery system. And there's 2 things going on with delivery system with the patches. Number 1, that's incredibly absorbable and bioavailable, bypasses nutrition, bypasses the gut, gets right where it's supposed to go. That's neat. But from a marketing standpoint, what I love about the patch is, just like with Caloraz, do one thing: put the patch on, and that's it. That's your whole program. Unbelievably simple. Very, very important. So in order to be a great coach, you have to put together, I'm recommending, because it costs absolutely nothing, create a WhatsApp group, put 5 to 10 people on the product, and make a commitment that once a week you're going to have a sharing session about all of the magnificent things that are going to happen on the weight loss patch. Now I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper. I'm going to give you I've been really blessed. For many, many, many years, a genius nutritional coach named Rena Davis informed me and supported me and gave me knowledge. This step number 4 is in part her. Then I met another incredible nutritionist in Hawaii, a woman named Brandy, and I got a little bit more information. So here's what you need to do to be a great coach. Number 1, start with measurement. I'm going to guarantee you something. Not everyone is going to lose pounds right away. What we recognize is very, very simple. Many people, when they make the kind of adjustments that the patch will allow them to make, will lose fat, not weight on a scale. And when you lose fat, you trim up and you start to look differently. You start to fit in different items in your closet. I don't know about you, but most people, I've been doing this for many, many years, sold hundreds and hundreds of $1 billion worth of weight loss product. Here's what I know. When people start out, they have 3 sections in their closet. They have one section in their closet of clothes they will never fit in again. It looked really nice at Bonwood Teller, at Bloomingdale's, at Macy's, wherever they went into a fitting room. I don't know what they do in those fitting rooms. The mirrors are tilted, the lights, but they look good for 1 minute in a fitting room, and they never really fit in that outfit. But they spent enough money and they were committed to that item or items, and they never threw them away. So they're in the closet. Then in the middle are the things that actually now go on the enlarged body, the one that is carried, the body that is carrying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or more. That's in the middle. And then there are these clothes that are so close to fitting, but they're really good looking items. We are aiming at putting people back in those outfits. And the way to start someone's journey with us on the weight loss patch and program is very, very simple. You take pictures. You take pictures of the face. You take, if people will do it, I tell you, we made a fortune doing this. We got people to get in bathing suits, women 2-piece bathing suits, men 1-piece bathing suits, and we got their significant others taking pictures head on, sideways, and from the back, along with face shots. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 things about this move. Number one, when it works, it becomes marketing, because nothing is more convincing than visuals, than social proof, than before and after. Nothing has ever changed. This industry called weight loss industry is driven by before and after photos. So if you take on day one those foundational photos, you potentially have very powerful marketing pieces. And now that we have social media, we can put those pictures in front of people like that. Each one of you on this line has an Instagram account, a TikTok account, a Facebook account. I have 5,000 friends that I don't know on Facebook. But the minute I put up a photo of me in a bathing suit at 42-inch waist versus 33-inch waist, bang, I'm going to get some kind of traction, some kind of attraction. So at the end of the day, that's number one, but that's not the most important. Believe it or not, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is you want pictures, because pictures will tell a much more accurate, simple story of how powerful our weight loss patch is. Do you get it? Because what's going to happen as a coach is someone's going to call up 3 weeks into it and go, I don't think I'm going to buy another month's supply of these patches, because honest to God, I think I lost maybe a half a pound. And they're going to be a little bit cranky. And then you say, oh, geez, that's too bad. Let's go take a look at your pictures. Send me a picture of who you are now, because I'm telling you, I'm talking to you on Skype or on whatever the heck we are, on a Zoom, and I see in your face, I think you've lost a lot of face there. The pictures will give you the ability as a coach to help someone have a more positive experience with the program that we're putting them on. Very, very, very important. I can't tell you anything more important. Get everybody to take pictures. They will be the litmus test, the proof that our program is working. Measure, pictures, water. A lot of people eat when they're really thirsty, and the more you drink, the better off you are. Dori is suggesting Dori drinks more water than anyone I've ever known, but we say, listen, I'm 190 pounds, 6'2", 190 pounds. I should be drinking half of my body weight in water. I certainly do every single day. And that's a nice calculus. But what we want to do is we want to get people to measure so that they know exactly where they're starting at, because creating baseline as a coach is critical in whatever you're coaching. Number two, the best way to measure is through pictures. You want to encourage people to stay hydrated and drink. And of course, we want people to move. We want people to move a little bit because it's good for their heart, it's good for their lungs, it's good for their mood, it's good for their state of mind, but it's also marvelous for weight management. Now, every single powerful product has a raison d'etre. Oh, I hope I said that right, because my sister there, Jen, she speaks every language on the planet. And I think one of them, I'm pretty sure I know, is French, and God only knows what I did with that. But I just came, every single product. Now, what we did when we had the liquid collagen is we said what the product was going to do during the sleep cycle would help build metabolism and allow your body to more efficiently burn fat during the course of the day. That was our raison d'etre. That was our proposition. What's our proposition here? It's even more simple. It's even more simple, and I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I just got back from Italy. I just spent 3 weeks in Italy, Rome and Venice, the island of Elba, Florence. It was just quite wonderful. And the two things that I want to share with you. When I got off the plane in Rome, the first thing that you notice is, oh my God, this group is substantially smaller than the group that I just left in the United States of America. There aren't people carrying hundreds of extra pounds here. They're all slim. How can this be? Because we know they eat cornettos, pastry in the morning, paninis, sandwiches in the middle of the day, maybe a salad, and then pasta or pizza every night of their life. So if in fact carbs created overweight, Italians would be enormous, but they're not. They're not. What? I want to show you something. Jen, you're going to love this. I've never had a visual in my life, but here's my visual. In the United States of America, this is the size of our portions. Get it? When you're over there in Italy and they bring you that carbonara, that amatriciana, that cacio e pepe, that, oh my God, the most delicious pasta in the world. Oh, it comes in this one because they just don't eat as much. Their portion size is half of our portion size. The foods are clean, the ingredients are amazing, the recipes are phenomenal, the output is magnificent. You're satisfied by the quality, not the quantity. So what we have in the patch is a way to give someone the gift of portion control without having people go completely nuts. We know that the Ozempics of the world do one thing and one thing only. People eat substantially less. I don't know if it's 50%, whether they eat 30%, but whatever it is, they get full fast and their portion size is decreased dramatically. We know what's wrong with the pharmaceutical brands. There are contraindications. They're very expensive. Many times they have to come through a prescription, so it's a difficult process. It's expensive, and there are contraindications. We are bringing the world a natural solution to create the exact same result: portion control. Portion control. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, number one, each and every one of us, it all starts with one step. One step is to just find 5 to 10 people who are eager to lose the weight, who are miserable with the weight that they're on, who have a special event, a wedding they're going to, or they're going to go to Bermuda and they're going to have to be seen half naked on a beach, and it's driving them out of their mind, and they are goal-oriented, and the goal that they want is they want to drop size. They want to look better. They want to feel better. They want to move better. Now, I teach professional pickleball players, and I say the same thing to athletes all the time. When you look at a tour, bike rider, when I love the Tour de France, I used to be a long distance bicycle rider. At the end of the day, they are fighting their guts out at getting a new piece of record Campanolo grouping on their bike that weighs 1 ounce less, because they're performance athletes. They want to go faster, they want to go longer, they want to sustain their energy, and many times they have to go up mountains, so they want less weight. As athletes, all athletes want to be fit, because the fitter you are, the smaller you are, the quicker you are, the more magnificent you can be in your sport. So at the end of the day, I want you to not only look good, but I want you to feel good, and I want you to teach people how to achieve those results. And it's really simple. Go for low-lying fruit, people who want what we have. Of course, the extraordinary advantage is not only are 75 out of 100 people absolutely in need of this, and we only need the five best out of the 75 who will be compliant, who will put the patch on every day. Who now, sometimes people ask me a funny question. I'm a master neurolinguistic programming teacher. I've sold $11.2 million worth of NLP training to corporate America. So I'm going to tell you a little secret. When people come up to me and say, you know what, that calorie, that patch, it's all in their mind. I say, geez, I hope so. I hope so. I'm praying for placebo. Placebo is the greatest gift that God has given any of us. If you can think positive thoughts, you can manifest positive things. So I not only want someone who's eager, who can afford $29.95 a month for the program, but I want someone with a really good attitude. I don't want to have a little team get on WhatsApp with cranky people. I want people who are positive. And there's no doubt in my mind that if you take this powerful patch and you support it in a little group activity and you feed into it your love and your coaching along with their good attitude, even greater results will happen. So when people say, is this all about placebo? I say, yeah, I hope a big part of this is placebo, because positive thoughts create positive things. End of story. Heraclides said it. Marcus Aurelius said it. Tony Robbins said it. Richard Bandler said it. I mean, it just goes on and on. Any great coach, Jim Rohn, the great Jim Rohn, everyone stood for the same thing. Thoughts are things. Positive thoughts manifest or attract positive results. So at the end of the day, we're putting together, you're looking for 5 people. When you get them, you're going to put them in a WhatsApp group so that you're going to officially communicate with the whole group once a week for 15 to 20 minutes to get feedback, to listen to Linda or Jim's story so everybody can get higher than a kite. Because these sales teams, these organizations, the way we went from 1 bottle sold to 6 million, and in the process added 690,000 distributors in Canada and the US, and Jen has all the numbers, she was in charge of those numbers. At the end of the day, it was based on product results, enthusiasm, keeping the group together, and having the group's energy get higher and higher and higher. And the way people get high are 2 ways in our industry. Number 1, they make a check. And number 2, they have a product result. I always argue that the product result comes before the check, because I'm not a business development guy. I'm a product development guy. I want people to be joyful. I want to offer someone something. I mean, I can't get better than offering someone a weight loss solution in the middle of an epidemic for $29.95 that has no contraindications. It's all natural. That requires one thing to do and one thing only. And then you just coach them up. Take the pictures, drink the water, move a little bit, and then we capture those results in images and we share them in social media. It just doesn't get better than this. That's the model. That's what we did. That's what we're going to do together once again. This is exciting. We are meeting. This is ground zero. This is day 1. I don't know how many patches we've sold so far, but let's go sell 1 million of them. And it starts with your 5. It starts with my 5. I've got my 5. No doubt about it. Anyway, they're people, by the way, that I teach pickleball to, that are magnificent athletes, but they'd like to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds, no more than that. but I'm telling them that they're going to be able to manage their portion size. They're going to just have this phenomenal result. Some of them need the pain reduction patch, but that's a whole other story for another call. So Dori, I think I am done. I think I've shared the model. And then once you know the model, you do rinse and repeat. You teach your team to do likewise. Before you know it, you'll have 100 or 200 customers telling stories underneath you that are mind-blowing, and it just gets bigger and bigger. That's how we went from 1 bottle to 6 million. That's how we went from 54 distributors when I met the company to 690,000 distributors. And by the way, let me give a shout out to Dori O'Neill. You guys are all incredibly blessed to have Dori on this team, because 1 year into the explosion that we created by following this program and promoting a weight loss solution, we got so big. We 30,000 distributors joining a month. We couldn't keep up with the growth. We couldn't manage customer service. And Dori came in, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 months into it when we were exploding, but also imploding. And he put the company on his back, put them together, took over the customer service department, created an IT department, just changed everything, and the trains ran on time, tickety boo. Without Dori's participation, we would have never got to year 3, year 5, year 7. We would never have gone all over the world. So what a wonderful executive. I don't know what they're calling him here, strategic advisor #1, but he is a bloody genius in terms of organizational development and making specifically this kind of company run like clockwork. So God bless you, Dori. That's my program for tonight.
Wow. Well, thank you, Jay. That was a lovely comment, and it is so great to see you do that once more. I have a high level of belief in every word that you said. I have, and it's funny that you say that. I looked in the Dori picture folder, and I had those pictures from way back when, and that's kind of going to be a benchmark for me to get back to those pictures, because having dealt with the long-term COVID, I've actually increased the lens size of my camera to get that little belly into the frame. But I know with the patches, we're going to do wonders. And one of the things that I will ask you, I'll put you on the spot here, Jay. If we created a Vital Patch group on Facebook, would you be interested in being one of those coaches?
Absolutely. I'm not only interested in that because, I love Facebook coaching, and I love typing and writing, and I go in all day long. I only take top students, so I only teach one lesson a week and one advanced clinic a week, one lesson a day rather. So I have plenty of time. What I'm also eager to do, and I want people to, is I would love to help develop and then share a business, a weight loss call, where people could bring their 5 or 10 guests on board, and we would follow the program, Dori, that we created with great success. So I'm excited about doing that.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So everyone, this is a model for success. I know from personal experience, these patches do everything that Dr. Nelson claimed they would do, firsthand knowledge. And I know that you're all going to enjoy this journey, because we have perhaps the greatest weight loss coach in the world on our team, supporting us each and every step of the way. And this journey is going to get better and better and better. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Kari, a big shout out to Tony, and to the other management people that they ran into a challenge. They reached out, they did the things. And I always say to somebody when they're criticizing something, if you were the president of this company, what would you have done? And they did something. They took a step, and they reached out, and change is happening. And that's what happens when you're a young company. You run into opportunity knocks. They saw the opportunity, they jumped on it, and now we have Mr. Jay Sargent, Coach Jay. We have Dr. David Nelson, and we have people like Genevieve, who's an extremely experienced individual, and other people that will be soon joining us that will add to the team and make a big difference. And I can't wait for the next 2 to 3 weeks to unfold, to share some other amazing support tools that will support this journey that we're all embarking on. So everyone, I'll turn it back over to you, Ashley, and let you close out the night.
All right. Thank you, Dori and Coach Jay. I will be in whatever group you all make, and I will be slapping that patch on, and I'm excited for that. Real quick announcement before everybody ditches us and goes. Tomorrow night, don't forget that we have our overview call at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Sorry, guys, when I'm in Arizona and the whole time change thing, and we don't do it here, I get confused of even what time zone I'm on. So it is going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific or Mountain Time. It's 6 p.m. Pacific, right? Yeah. So we are looking forward to seeing you there, and our wonderful Susie White will be doing the presentation tomorrow night. So definitely bring your people on. I'm excited for this journey with the patches, and I hope everybody has a great night and see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.